This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, Trump tariffs. The U.S. president vows to impose 25% tariffs on Canadian goods starting Saturday. Housing reprieve. A Halifax man and his dog ordered out of an RV can stay for now. And still running. Business is booming for Halifax's last vacuum repairman.
A system tracking to our south will bring accumulating snow in across the province for Friday night and into Saturday morning. Cold temps for the weekend. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Donald Trump's U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods are expected to take effect tomorrow. There will be a crippling 25% tariffs on goods crossing the U.S. border. That includes goods from many companies here in Nova Scotia and the Maritimes. The CBC's Brett Ruskin has been looking into some of the businesses that could be most vulnerable.
These possible tariffs could affect places like Port Hawkesbury Paper. That is a huge sprawling paper mill on Cape Breton Island. In fact, the largest industrial employer on Cape Breton Island. It supports around 1,200 jobs, either employees or contractors who work for the paper mill. And what they make there, they make high quality paper that's used for magazines, for calendars, for flyers, things like that. The problem is that 93% of their product is exported to the United States. And so if there's a 25% tariff that is imposed as of tomorrow, that's going to make that paper more expensive for those American buyers. And they could look internally to American paper mills or to other countries that don't have tariffs enforced upon them. Now, if we move outside of Nova Scotia to New Brunswick, for example, on a smaller scale, literally looking at blueberries, the blueberry industry, those producers are also worried about tariffs. The industry has seen a drop in the price of blueberries over the last couple of years. They were selling for around $1.10 per pound a few years ago. That's how much farmers could sell them for. Now they are selling for around 40 cents per pound. Now, couple that with the possibility of a 25% tariff, that's going to make it more expensive for American producers to purchase, American buyers to purchase Canadian blueberries. That could really decimate and cut down the blueberry industry in New Brunswick. And finally, to cover the Maritimes, Prince Edward Island, Dennis King, the premier there, had a State of the Province address earlier this week in which he promised money in this year's budget to help those industries and those businesses that could be impacted and affected by these tariffs. So a Maritimes snapshot of some of the industries, some of the businesses that could be affected by these tariffs if they do come into effect tomorrow. Brett Ruskin, CBC News, Halifax.
A surprise guilty plea today in the case of Ahmad El-Marak. He was stabbed in a parking garage at the Halifax Shopping Centre last April and died later in hospital. 4 teens were charged with second-degree murder in the attack. 2 of them have pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter and are in the midst of a lengthy sentencing process. A 3rd teen is in the midst of a trial on the murder charge. Evidence from those 3 court proceedings pointed to the 4th accused as the one who actually did the stabbing. He was supposed to go to trial starting next month. Instead, his lawyer appeared in Nova Scotia Youth Court this morning to plead guilty to murder. He is to be sentenced in June. A Nova Scotia police officer has been charged with assault and placed on administrative duties. The province's police watchdog says Constable Reese Smith assaulted a woman he knows while he was off duty in December. Smith is scheduled to appear in provincial court in Bridgewater on February 19th. A Halifax area man living in an RV has been told he can stay for now. The municipality originally told him to leave the RV on his mother's property, but that order has been extended. The CBC's Haley Ryan has more.
The Halifax municipality had told him he was breaking a bylaw and must leave his mother's property by February. But Tetro says many people wrote to the city about his case after CBC aired his story last week. Now, HRM says he can stay until at least the fall.
It's almost overwhelming. I mean, I'm definitely grateful for the support. It's definitely helping a lot.
A Halifax spokesperson says they suspended the order because of a pending report on whether the city should allow RVs for residential use. And Tetro solved safety concerns about his wood stove. That report is expected in October.
If that doesn't change, yeah, my foot's going to be out there, and I'll be speaking out even more again if I have to. Like, it's unfortunate. I don't want to be here, but I am, so.
Tetro's mother wants whoever made the complaint to reflect on their actions, because their own loved ones could be in the same boat one day.
I may never know who it was, but I'm just glad that, if they did this to be petty, they lose, right? Because he's still here for now. So, we'll see.
She wants the provincial government to look at creating a Nova Scotia-wide policy, rather than the current patchwork of municipal bylaws.
You shouldn't depend on what county you're living in, and there's too many people that can benefit from it.
After that council decision on the Halifax bylaws, the city says they will revisit Tetro's eviction order. Healy Ryan, CBC News, Wellington.
Liberal leadership contender Mark Carney was in Halifax today, delivering an announcement that he'll abandon the carbon tax if he wins the race. Carney says the tax isn't working because it's too divisive. He says he will replace the policy with an incentive program that rewards Canadians for making green choices, but he would keep carbon pricing in place for large industry.
So we've worked a way where we're going to get greater reductions on the industrial side, some household reductions driven by incentives, the carrot, not the stick, and have those industrial users pay for them. So this is a better, in the end, it's a better solution that builds off of what was there before.
Carney also says his plan would ensure that Canadian companies can compete on a level playing field by penalizing high-polluting foreign exports. So a break from that bitter cold today, but not for long.
That's right. Temperatures are really going to be chilly for this weekend, Amy. And we've got snow for Friday night, Saturday morning, and snowfall outlooks a little snowier than 24 hours ago as this system is going to be tracking further north, and so into the 10 to 15 centimeter range. Lunenburg County, Shelburne, Yarmouth, edging into Digby County, from the valley across to the Halifax metro area, and then across to eastern shore areas, we're looking at 5 to 10 centimeters, 2 to 5 north of that line. And this will again be tracking in as we move through Friday night. You can see the snow that will really start to fill out across the province through the overnight hours, and those temperatures will be dropping, so this snow will be becoming fluffier in nature as we turn the page to Saturday morning. And you can see for Saturday morning, it's generally the snow tapering to flurries, and then for the afternoon, the sun slowly but surely breaking in. We are talking about very chilly temperatures, though, as we said, for Saturday. Afternoon temperatures ranging between about -7 and -10 to 11. Chilly for Sunday as well, but brighter skies with lots of sunshine. Your full weekend forecast in 7 days coming up.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, nearly 11 months after being cleared to restart operations, Cape Breton's subsea coal mine remains idle. An American analyst says there's still a market for coal, but he says the Donkin mine owners may be waiting for the commodity's price to go up. CBC's Kyle Moore reports.
David McLeod worked underground at the Donkin coal mine. He says he always felt safe and would go back to work in a heartbeat if production resumed.
It's a win-win situation for the province to have that mine running. All the tax money, everybody has to can sleep at home in their own bed and not go to Alberta and miss their family growing up.
So, Mr. Premier, we need your help.
More than 100 miners lost their jobs almost 2 years ago. Their families and community members rallied to try and save the mine. McLeod blames provincial regulations and politicians for the lengthy shutdown.
I really believe Tim Houston should call the Klein Group and say we got to have a meeting, because they're pushing to have natural resources in Nova Scotia to be self-sufficient. Here's one right here, all ready to go. Permits are there, workforce is here, sale for the coal's here.
The mine shut down following a significant roof fall in July 2023 and was cleared by the Labour Department to restart production last March after more safety features were installed and its safety plans were approved. But the mine still has not reopened.
I think it's probably more price right now than it is geology or operating conditions.
Joe Aldina is a U.S.-based analyst. He says the Klein Group, whose company Cameron Coal owns the Donkin mine, likely plans to reopen in the future.
They've invested a few $100 million U.S. in CapEx in that mine, and that was the last project that Chris Klein, the founder of the company, really put himself into. So I don't see them walking away from that.
Aldina says the U.S. has large stockpiles of coal, which is one factor that's helping keep the price low, and feels that is probably why the Klein Group has not restarted the Donkin mine. McLeod hopes the good-paying jobs will soon return.
I enjoyed mining. I really did.
CBC reached out to Cameron Coal, but they did not respond to requests for comment. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Donkin.
Meanwhile, Nova Scotia's Environment Minister says he'll make whatever changes are necessary to prepare for Tim Houston's push towards more natural resource development and extraction. Houston has said he'll revisit all development bans in the province, including the moratorium on fracking and the ban on uranium mining.
My role at Environment, based on the direction of the Premier, if the Premier is signaling that, as a regulator, I have a responsibility to make sure my team is ready to regulate that safely, ethically, and also to make sure that, that we protect the environment and protect human health.
Opposition leaders say it's reasonable to discuss how to grow the natural resources sector, but they take issue with the adversarial approach Houston is using. The province has revised rules around wind turbine planning in West Hants. It comes ahead of standard policies for farms across Nova Scotia being released. The Regional Council wanted at least 2.5 kilometres between wind turbines and private property. But John Lohr, Minister of Municipal Affairs, has amended the proposed bylaw to make setbacks 4 times turbine height from homes, which would work out to between 600 and 900 metres. A reference to visual impacts of wind turbines was also struck out.
We want to enable these industries to go forward, and that these will be the minimum planning requirements going forward for all municipalities, yes.
The department is in the final stages of drafting province-wide standards for wind farm planning. Well, for more than 30 years, All Star Vacuum has been the place to go to for people looking for vacuum cleaner repairs in Halifax. Now, John Walker says he's the last who does what he does. In fact, business isn't slowing. The CBC's Karsten Knox dropped in.
With vacuums more than 100 years old, like this one, you might think this is more of a museum of relics instead of a repair shop.
There's a bellows inside. It's all since been shot. You'd have a little hose coming out of here and you go around with the hose, and while someone else pumped this to make the vacuum.
John Walker of All Star Vacuum has seen the cleaner repair business shift over his 3 decades in business. And after 28 years, he's had to make a big change. He moved into a bigger shop on Kempt Road in Halifax. From the newest Dyson models to the older Kenmores, he's got machines with bags and without. He continues to fix home vacuum cleaners and commercial, central vacs as well, from pricey to cheap.
We had to switch gears and get into more high-end vacuums and expand our service. I still do those department store vacuums, but there's a limit to what you can do to them or spend on them. For example, you can't put a $100 repair bill on a $150 vacuum. They won't come pick it up. So.
In a time when so much of our tech culture comes with built-in obsolescence, it's sometimes easier to replace the old with something shiny and new. Walker is a holdout from another era when things were built differently. There used to be 6 independent businesses like his back in the day.
I'm a better serviceman than I am a salesman, so I tend to want to fix stuff. I'm the last gap before the landfill.
Walker has no immediate plans to retire, given how busy his shop is.
It's not a get-rich plan, but it certainly keeps the bills paid, and I enjoy coming to work every day. I mean, you still got dust bunnies, you still got, if you got cats, kids, and dogs, you got stuff on the floor, anywhere from cereal to whatever. You know, you still need a vacuum to suck it up.
Karsten Knox, CBC News, Halifax.
And Ryan's up next with the full weather forecast. Stay with us. So it sounds like it's a decent weekend if you bundle up.
If you're prepared, yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. Sunshine is on tap. We've got cold temps, but we'll take the sun. Now, Saturday is going to be a little bit sluggish to clear because this system coming in as we speak, passing to our south, is a bit further north. So that means A, more snow tonight, B, more snow early tomorrow morning, and C, the clouds just lingering a little bit longer into the afternoon, but we will clear. Have a look at temperatures out there right now. 3 degrees, Yarmouth, Bacaro, Shelburne, Western Head, still on the plus side from Halifax up to the airport. Also in and around that 0 to 1 range up to through Hants County into Kentville. And also Westport's at 4. As you can see, that's our hotspot. So what we're going to be watching is that wind to drop the temperatures tonight as we shift to a northerly wind. Right now, still those southwest winds influencing in and along that Atlantic coastline in particular, but we're starting to see the winds shift here in through and across the Bay of Fundy. And yeah, wind chill's not a big factor right now. Northeast certainly feeling a bit cool. And this is, again, that first little push that came across this afternoon with accumulating snow. For the most part light, couple of little pockets, especially up towards northern Cape Breton. Now you can see the rain that's been pushing in along the South Shore. And yes, hard to believe, given the week we've had and the cold temperatures this weekend, that indeed we are seeing rain here and through the south and west. What will happen is as those temperatures drop and this moisture continues to track in, we will see that northerly wind and the transition back to snow on the northern edge of this system. And there is plenty of cold air for it to tap into. You can see most of Canada into a pretty chilly air mass. Vancouver just at 6, Calgary at -7, and Toronto at 2. Everywhere else feeling pretty cold. Let's time it out with your forecast for tonight. And you can see -4 in through the Yarmouth area by morning, and then temperatures will continue to fall there throughout the morning into around the -6 to -7 range. The rest of the province, for the most part, in the -6 to -9 range as those winds do shift to north. So forecast model here picking up on that rain pretty well. And then as looks like we'll see kind of one push of moisture here through this evening. And then late evening into the overnight, we see this next round. And this is where it really fills out into the overnight. And that's where we're talking about the snow that is really going to start to accumulate. Will be late evening, overnight, into Saturday morning. And then that snow will start to depart throughout the morning. Saturday afternoon is quiet with some lingering flurries and the skies then clearing. Snowfall totals, in case you're just joining us, looking at about 10 to 15 centimeters now. Lunenburg back into Yarmouth, edging towards Digby County, and certainly southwest of that line. 5 to 10 the valley through Halifax, and then 2 to 5 north of that line. Now, as we look at the Saturday forecast, we're looking at -4 to -6 for Cape Breton and into the eastern shore, and around -5 to -6 up through Antigonish and into New Glasgow. Temperatures are going to be anywhere from -9 up towards -11 in Amherst. And as we look into the valley and the South Shore regions, temperatures anywhere from -5 in Shelburne to -10 in Kentville. But again, Shelburne, Yarmouth, Liverpool, your temperatures will fall to about -6 to -7 into the afternoon. There's that northwest wind, which will ease on Sunday as an area of high pressure moves overhead. So lighter winds on Sunday. The wind chill won't be nearly as much of a factor. For Saturday, we're going to be feeling more like -15 to -20 into the afternoon. For Sunday, it'll back off more like -12 to -15 or 16. So still a factor, but not nearly as bitter. And yeah, that area of high pressure again slides off to the south. This is the light snow we're going to see building in throughout the day on Monday. Right now, timing is of course key, but it looks like Monday afternoon's drive will be impacted more so than the morning, and we could see some mixing with this late day, but not before some accumulation. Right now, looks like about 5 centimeters from on that Monday system, but still a bit early. Either way, a messy, slick drive. Cold Wednesday, Thursday's the next snow, ice, rain maker. Amy.
Keeping you busy.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Coming up, a tale of two Doyles. We dive into the mystery of the headless eagle sculptures at Province House. Canada-U.S. relations are under the spotlight these days, with President Donald Trump threatening 25% tariffs. And it's not the first time there have been tensions between the two countries. I'm here at Province House with head librarian David McDonald. So you've got a story that goes way back. Tell me a bit about that. And it involves eagles.
It involves eagles, that's right. The story is that during the Aroostook War, or the Pork and Beans War, as it's also called, it was a boundary dispute between New Brunswick and Maine, and they were fighting over forestry products. And basically, the United States took part of Maine. And the story is that one of the MLAs got really quite upset about this, and he looked around in the province house and he saw these eagles above the windows and above the doors.
And what did he do?
And he apparently took out his walking stick and whacked off their heads.
And this kind of was par for the course for this MLA. He was quite a character.
This MLA was quite the character. He has been called by the Venerable Joseph Howe one of the most wittiest men he's ever met. And he was also a member of the first Executive Council in Nova Scotia in 1848 under responsible government. So his name was Lawrence O'Connor Doyle. That's one story.
And there's another involving another
There's
Doyle.
another story involving another Doyle that we just recently found out. Actually, it was the House of Assembly Management operations manager who found this story. And it involves Lieutenant Governor Charles Hastings Doyle. And he was Lieutenant Governor from 1867 to 1873. And he was also a military man, and he fought and defended Canada against the Fenian invasions in what is now Ontario. And he apparently came into these rooms and he saw the eagles up there and said, "What are these eagles doing, American eagles doing in Her Majesty's house?" And that he apparently took his sword and beheaded them, and then said, they are harmless now.
Either way, the eagles are headless.
Either way, they're headless. And yeah, we've even wondered if they're eagles or falcons. Some people have said doves. I've even heard phoenixes. I'm believing that they are eagles now based on the Roman eagle.
Now, what do tourists say when they come in here? I guess particularly American tourists.
It's one of the favored stories. It's part of the folklore of Province House. And this recent discovery makes it even more intriguing because I'm still trying to find concrete proof, it's not hearsay, that either one of these Doyles was responsible for the vandalism.
You see any parallels to what's going on today?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I'm not going to go off and lop the heads off of the American eagles. But,
no, because there's still some left, right?
There's still some left, yeah. Yep, there are. There's still some left on with the ones that he couldn't reach that are on the window surrounds.
Right. Well, you've been librarian here for more than 20 years, right?
I started with the Legislative Library in 2003, became a legislative librarian in 2015.
Talk about the amount of history. Like, this is not a huge building compared to other legislatures, but there's a lot of history in here.
Oh, there's tons of history in here. This is the oldest legislative building in Canada. It's also the seat of the oldest legislature. It's back in 1758, obviously not in this building. And the library itself is the site of Joseph Howe's famous trial for libel in 1835, where he defended a letter that he published criticizing the magistrates of the city of Halifax. And he defended himself, spoke for 6¼ hours, and despite the judge telling him telling the jury to find him guilty, the jury acquitted him, and he spoke for 6¼ The jury deliberated for 12 minutes. So, and there's all kinds of other interesting things in this building.
And for folks who want to see the history firsthand, they can come down for a free tour. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're open every day. I believe the opening hours are now 9 to 4 o'clock. So, and when the House is sitting, obviously we're here.
Yeah. Well, thanks for walking us through a bit of history. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
Coming up, Justin Trudeau says Canada is ready with a forceful, immediate response if Trump imposes tariffs. And investigators continue to look for clues in the fatal collision between a jet and helicopter that left 67 people dead. Welcome back. It is now official. A trade war with the United States is about to begin. This afternoon, the White House press secretary said the U.S. will impose tariffs on Canadian goods in the next 24 hours.
I can confirm that tomorrow, the February 1st deadline that President Trump put into place at a statement several weeks ago continues. The president will be implementing tomorrow a 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China.
The press secretary said she did not know if any Canadian goods would be exempted from the U.S. tariffs, but that details would be made public tomorrow. Later in the Oval Office, Trump said nothing can be done to stop the tariffs. He also said he'll impose a 10% tariff, reduced from 25%, on Canadian oil and gas, and that's likely to take effect on February 18th. Well, Donald Trump says there's nothing Canada can do to avoid a tariff set to come into effect tomorrow. But Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been meeting with members of his cabinet and a panel of experts amid a final last-minute push to try and stop the tariffs. Ashley Burke now with the latest on Canada's response.
Illegal crossings.
The Prime Minister says he doesn't know exactly what Donald Trump's tariffs could look like, but one thing is certain.
If the president does choose to implement any tariffs against Canada, we're ready with a response. A purposeful, forceful, but reasonable, immediate response.
Justin Trudeau meeting with his Canada-U.S. Council, experts helping him navigate the crisis at a critical time.
I won't sugarcoat it. Our nation could be facing difficult times in the coming days and weeks. I know Canadians might be anxious and worried, but I want them to know the federal government, and indeed all orders of government, have their backs.
Trudeau said Canada's prepared for every scenario to deal with whatever Trump does next.
His motto is to create as much chaos and instability out there as possible in order to drive investment out of Canada into the United States.
Others say Trump's strategy is simple. He's all about power, control, and money. That's it.
These things are what we have to respond to and have to make sure we're standing tall against.
As Canada tries to fend off a trade war, ministers are still warning the U.S. that tariffs will hurt them too.
Tariffs makes life a lot more expensive for Americans, and I encourage our American friends that they should also be sharing that widely.
While the country braces for impact, the government's plan includes cutting the red tape on interprovincial trade so Canada can rely on the U.S. less. Sources say the government's plan includes $37 billion worth of tariffs on American goods that could rise to more than $100 billion if Trump doesn't back down, plus a multi-billion-dollar aid package to help shore up the Canadian economy if needed. But all of this will depend on the severity of what Trump does next. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Canada-U.S. border is a major trigger point in this country's relationship with the Trump administration. Enforcement has been increased in response to Trump's tariff threats. CBC News went on a ride-along this week with an RCMP border patrol in Quebec. Catherine Tunney reports.
If I can't have proper monitoring, it means nothing.
It's a bleak, frigid day as RCMP Sergeant Daniel Dubois makes his rounds, looking for people trying to cross the border illegally, either into or from the U.S.
So people will cross here.
The day's freezing temperatures and blustering winds, just part of being a Mountie. But there's another element he and his team are weathering these days, a political storm.
People do think, like everywhere else in different work environments, about the election itself. The only difference with us is it will affect our work.
Earlier this week, CBC News shadowed Dubois on a stormy day near the Quebec-New York border, waiting for tips to come in and checking known crossing points for any evidence.
No footprints today.
With U.S. President Donald Trump citing concerns with the northern border as a reason to impose punishing tariffs, pressure is mounting on this side to act, heightening stress.
Right now, we don't know how things are going to go. So that causes anxiety, for the membership.
The RCMP says today's weather is likely keeping things quiet along the border, but all it takes is a shift in temperature or policy to start creating problems. Roxham Road, once the epicenter of Canada's migrant crisis, when tens of thousands of people used this unofficial crossing to enter Canada during Trump's first term. Now the re-elected president is cracking down even harder on immigration. That has the RCMP preparing for a possible northern surge, this time under updated laws. These days, northbound asylum claimants are turned back to the U.S. unless they can stay undetected for 14 days, potentially making the RCMP's job much harder.
We're facing a reality that Our patrol officers would have to respond anywhere and everywhere in the area.
As the day ends, some relief for Dubois. No one has been spotted attempting to cross today, no kids in the cold. But with the weather promising to warm up, and in an ever-shifting political climate, there's no telling how long that peace will last. Catherine Tunney, CBC News, Hemmingford, Quebec.
There were questions today about understaffing at Washington's Reagan International Airport at the time of that deadly crash between a passenger plane and a military helicopter. The air traffic controller was juggling 2 jobs that night, one for helicopter traffic and another for planes. 67 people were killed in the Wednesday night collision. And as Kayla Hounsell reports, the recovery mission is still far from over.
Divers are now scouring the Potomac River just down from where I'm standing for what is the second full day of an enormously difficult recovery operation. The DC Fire Chief says 41 sets of remains have now been recovered. 28 of them have been identified after a passenger jet en route from Wichita, Kansas, collided with a military Black Hawk helicopter while it was on its final approach here into Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport at 9 p.m. Wednesday. There were 67 people in total on board both aircraft. There are no survivors. The fire chief says he expects crews will be able to recover all of the bodies, but not until the fuselage has been removed from the water. The airport has resumed operations. We can see planes coming and going, but 2 of its 3 runways remain closed due to the airport's proximity to the crash site.
The 2 crosswind runways, if aircraft were to take off or land over the aircraft recovery site that is out there right now, those would be impactful to the operation. So we've elected to keep those runways closed.
The black boxes have now been recovered from the passenger jet, the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder, which will provide critical information for investigators. But look, there remain serious questions about how and why this happened. This is a very busy airspace, among the most congested in the United States, and it's also very complex. Washington is served by 3 major airports. There are 2 no-fly zones that cover the White House and the Vice President's home. And there are regularly military aircraft crossing paths with passenger aircraft. However, the Federal Aviation Administration is now restricting helicopter flights here near Reagan National as the investigation continues into what is the worst aviation disaster in the United States in more than 2 decades. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Washington.
And we have a correction to a story we brought you Thursday on that plane that crashed in Washington. CBC News incorrectly reported that among the 67 dead was the 23-year-old son of the 2 Russian championship pair figure skaters. In fact, he flew on another flight and arrived safely at home. We regret the error. To the federal Liberal leadership race now, and one candidate's new take on the carbon tax. As we told you earlier, former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney said this morning he now plans to scrap the tax if elected and replace it with a different plan. Just one of the big issues he and his main competitor spoke about today. Rafi Boudjikanian has the details.
If I see that something isn't working, I'm going to change it.
Mark Carney in Halifax, surrounded by some of the very Liberal MPs that convinced the Prime Minister in 2023 to freeze the consumer carbon tax in Atlantic Canada, now pledging to wipe out Justin Trudeau's signature environmental policy across the country.
You'll no longer have to pay more to fuel your car or heat your home. But when you choose an energy-efficient appliance or an electric car or home insulation, you will be rewarded, and we will get the big polluters to pay for it.
In place of the carbon tax, Carney says if elected Liberal leader, he'd create an incentive program that would reward Canadian individuals and industry for making green choices and lower emissions. A dramatic turn from what he said before, but he still agrees with the Prime Minister on his response to U.S. tariffs expected tomorrow.
We will impose retaliatory dollar-for-dollar tariffs if these measures are put in place. We will target those tariffs where they have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact in Canada.
The other frontrunner in the race, Chrystia Freeland, today saying Canada should threaten 100% tariffs on U.S. alcohol and on Teslas, the electric vehicles produced by Trump ally Elon Musk's company. She's also promised the end of the consumer carbon tax, but has yet to reveal her substitute.
I think they are aware that while it is perhaps an effective tool to save on carbon emissions, but at the same time, it's not going to work if people don't buy in.
This Liberal strategist says it's a small wonder the levy is disappearing from the leadership candidates' platforms.
In the opposition, they've been really successful at, sharing that the carbon tax was bad, that it caused inflation, that it made life more expensive to Canadians. And while there is no proof points for that, it would have been a very effective message.
In a video released on Friday about Carney, the Conservatives tried to do that again.
He's announced that he will pause the carbon tax for a few months right before the election to trick people into re-electing the Liberals. After the election, he will bring in a much bigger carbon tax when he no longer needs your vote, but still needs your money.
Carney has said nothing of the sort, but he is pledging on keeping the corporate tax for industrial emitters while making them pay for Canadians' greener choices, with no explanations on how he'll keep companies from passing those costs down to consumers. The candidates will find their ideas tested in 2 leadership debates next month. Rafi Bujikani on CBC News, Ottawa.
Canada's GDP dropped in November, down 0.2%. The latest data out today from StatsCan says it's the largest monthly contraction in a year. The shrinkage was led by a drop in output in mining and quarrying and also in oil and gas extraction. Goods-producing industries fell by 0.6%, and the utilities sector dropped 3.6% in November. The Canada Post strike slowed the transportation and warehousing sectors, along with work stoppages at ports in Montreal and British Columbia. But economists are pointing to a bounce back in December. As long shots go, this is one of humanity's longest, a space mission that's involved sending a craft to an asteroid 300,000 kilometers away, and not only touching down on the alien surface, but bringing samples back to Earth. Anand Ram has more on what scientists found and how Canada played a role.
You ready to see the results of the mission?
Leave it to NASA to get people excited about a bunch of rocks, but these are no ordinary ones. They came from here, the small asteroid Bennu. And the mission to go there years ago wasn't just for observation, but extraction, touching down to flick up samples and bringing them back to Earth. Now, the patience of mineralogists like Kim Tate have uncovered just what's in those rocks.
There is a lot of organics, which we expected, but these organics were actually forming in a very salty, briny water, which we didn't expect at all.
In other words, evidence that Bennu broke off from an ancient watery world as it flew around the chaos of the early solar system. The new research also found a complex soup of compounds, including the building blocks of the stuff we're made of: proteins, RNA, and DNA.
And if those were being delivered to the early Earth, that might have had an influence then on what took hold on the Earth.
Similar compounds have been found in meteorites that landed on Earth, but the key difference is that the Bennu samples are pristine, uncontaminated by entering Earth's atmosphere.
This is the justification, effectively, for bringing samples back by a spacecraft.
And since Canada helped with onboard instruments, samples of Bennu will come here, helping scientists like Tate dig deeper.
For researchers like myself across Canada to be able to study them, and not only us, but the next generation of scientists that are out there as well.
Proving that going out there brings us closer to understanding how we got here. Anand Ram, CBC News, Toronto.
Ottawa's business and tourism community, along with winter enthusiasts, are excited to welcome back the city's Winter Festival. Winterlude has been struggling after years of warmer temperatures. Nicole Williams reports.
All throughout the city today, people are putting on the finishing touches to Winterlude. Throughout the downtown, you can see sugar shacks, you can see ice rinks, stadiums, stages being built, and of course, ice sculptures being carved. It is a really exciting year this year because it actually seems to people that the winter is back in Winterlude. As you know, we've had, a really mild few seasons that have put a huge damper on things. We were speaking to some ice carvers earlier about what these conditions are like. Here's what one of them had to say.
It's really good. I've talked with the other artists, and they said that years before it really melted as they were carving it. Now it's staying together good.
This is really the first time in 4 years that this festival is back in full swing. In 2021 and 2022, festival canceled outright because of pandemic restrictions. Then the last 2 years, the winters were so warm, a lot of these outdoor ice and snow related events had to be forced indoors. One thing you can't move indoors is the Rideau Canal Skateway, one of the biggest attractions of the festival. It's the largest rink in the world, and last year, warmer temperatures meant it was only open for a few days, and the year before that, it didn't open at all. That was the first time in the Skateway's history that happened. This year, however, all 7.8 kilometers are open for people to skate on, and businesses say this is all extremely good news for the city.
It's the heart and the soul of Winterlude, and without the skating, people were here, walking up and down, seeing the sculptures and doing their thing, but they were all lamenting the canal, especially the tourists, and there's a lot of them. And they come and they say, we planned to come, we made our trip, and the canal isn't open.
Festival organizers are really hoping this chilly weather encourages people to come to the city and that visitors to Winterlude reach pre-pandemic levels, around 650,000 people over the next 3 weeks. But events officially kick off tonight. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Ottawa.
All right, the weather may be cold, but the snow at least is pretty.
It's nice. I mean, we went for so long where it was cold, but there was no snow on the ground, and not nice to look at, right? So it's winter. It might as well be.
Might as well have the snow.
Might as well have some snow for sure. I know my kids all on board with having some snow around. Have a look at this picture. This Lake Bannock. Yeah, beautiful shot. John Earl, thank you so much for sharing this.
Good spot for a walk, huh?
It really is. And it's going to be a good weekend for a walk. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Now, as we look at the forecast moving forward, again, some rain in through the southwest this evening. That will make way for snow as the temperatures drop. And this is where we're looking at. Most of the accumulation will be from midnight to 6 a.m. on Saturday. So if you are going to be on the roads early Saturday, a heads up that it is going to be snowy for the morning. And then we'll see things clearing into the afternoon and some sun breaking out into the afternoon, which will be nice, but it will be chilly indeed. Snowfall totals looking at about 10 to 15 centimeters for that extreme southwest. 5 to 10 through the central section there, as you can see from the valley across to Halifax, and 2 to 5 further to the north of that. Now, as we look at Saturday's temperatures, a little bit milder, likely Yarmouth down through Shelburne early Saturday morning, like -4, but temperatures, these will be your temperatures into the afternoon. -6 to -10, feeling more like -14 to -20.
Yikes.
Yeah, it is going to be very chilly indeed. And there's that wind chill value. We'll quickly jump ahead, though, just to show you the 7-day forecast. And you can see Sunday also pretty chilly. Snow, rain mix on Monday. The mix likely not till the evening, so expect some snow Monday.
Yep, winter it is. Well, a Fredericton project is covering the community in the artwork of newcomers. Have a look at this. It's part of a partnership with the Multicultural Association, brightening up benches and garbage cans along the city's many walking trails. 17 artists from 10 different countries participated, including some from China, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia.
6 benches and nine garbage cans were painted this year, in addition to 6 benches painted for the project back in 2022. All the paintings are nature-themed to fit in with their surroundings.
Looking good.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great weekend.